Daniel was 34 years old, earned $85,000 a year, and couldn't figure out why he felt broke. He wasn't irresponsible. He didn't gamble. He didn't spend money on things he didn't need. He drove a sensible car, cooked at home most nights, and hadn't taken a real vacation in 2 years. By every measure, he was doing the right things. And yet every 2 weeks, 3 days after his paycheck hit, he was watching his account like a man waiting for a verdict. One evening at a dinner hosted by a mutual friend, he ended up sitting next to a quiet, unhurried man in his early 60s who had built and exited 4 companies over 30 years. He didn't talk about money the way most wealthy people did. He didn't brag. He didn't give advice nobody asked for. But when Daniel mentioned offhandedly that he felt like he was running in place despite earning more than he ever had, the man put down his fork and looked at him carefully. "Can I show you something?" Daniel nodded. The man pulled out a pen and turned over his place card. "Tell me your monthly take-home." Daniel hesitated. "About $5,500 after tax." The man wrote it down. "Now tell me your fixed expenses: rent, car, groceries, utilities, subscriptions, everything that leaves before you even think about it." Daniel started listing. Rent, $2,100. Groceries, $600. Car payment, insurance, gas, $800. Utilities and subscriptions, $400. Student loan, $500. The man added it up without a word and slid the place card back across the table. The total was $4,400. Daniel stared at it. "Okay, so I have $1,100 left over every month. That's not terrible." The man looked at him. "Divide that by 2. Daniel frowned. "Why?" "Because you don't get paid monthly. You get paid every 2 weeks, which means every single paycheck, after your entire life takes its cut, you have $550 of breathing room. 1 car repair, 1 dentist visit, 1 flight home for a family emergency." Daniel was quiet. "You're not broke," the man said. "You're one surprise away from broke, and you've been living there for years without realizing it." Daniel shook his head. "But I have a good life, nice apartment, decent car." "That's the genius of it," the man said. "The system doesn't make you feel poor. It gives you just enough comfort. The granite countertop, the streaming services, the car that impresses people at stoplights, to stop you from asking the dangerous question. Which is, why aren't you building anything?" Daniel was quiet for a long moment. The man continued. "What you just described isn't a budget problem. It's a fragmentation trap. When money leaves in small pieces across 20 different directions, your brain never processes the total loss. You don't feel like you're treading water because you have a lifestyle. But a lifestyle and wealth are not the same thing. One is visible, the other is real." Daniel leaned back. "Okay, so what do I do differently?" "First," the man said, "you need to understand why the trap gets tighter every time you try to escape it." He called it lifestyle inflation. Every raise feels like freedom and functions like a tighter chain. Daniel had started at $60,000 and moved into a modest apartment. When he hit $75,000, he upgraded. When he hit $85,000, he got the car. Each decision felt earned and reasonable in the moment. "But now," the man said, "you can't leave. You've built a life that requires that exact paycheck just to exist. You're not free to take a risk, negotiate hard, or walk away from something that doesn't serve you, because you can't afford 30 days without that deposit." Daniel felt something cold settle in his chest. "You're describing my boss." "I'm describing most people earning 6 figures, the man said. "I once knew a CEO making $500,000 a year who was more financially trapped than his building's janitor. His lifestyle required $450,000 just to maintain the image. The janitor had $50,000 in the bank and slept fine. The CEO had a $800,000 mortgage, 2 private school tuitions, and a membership at a club he didn't even enjoy." "The salary doesn't determine your freedom," the man said. "The gap between your income and your expenses does, and the system is engineered to keep that gap at 0. Daniel exhaled slowly. So how do you actually break it? The man held up 3 fingers. First, stop confusing income with wealth. Your $85,000 salary is temporary cash flow. It exists only as long as you show up. $30,000 in liquid assets is permanent power. It exists whether you show up or not. One is rented, the other is owned. Daniel nodded slowly. Second, attack the gap intentionally. The next time you get a raise, don't upgrade anything. Not your apartment, not your car, not your subscriptions. Freeze your lifestyle exactly where it is, and redirect every new dollar into something that works for you while you sleep. This feels wrong at first. Every instinct you have will tell you that you earned the upgrade. That feeling is the trap talking. And third, the man said, the moment you have 6 months of expenses saved, not invested, saved, liquid, accessible, your entire psychology shifts. You are no longer negotiating from desperation. You can walk into any room, any review, any conversation, and tell the truth, because you can afford the consequences. Daniel thought about the last performance review he'd sat through, how he'd smiled and nodded at a number he knew was insulting because he couldn't afford not to. I've been broke with a good salary, he said quietly. Most people are, the man said. The ones who break free aren't luckier or smarter. They just saw the system clearly for what it was and decided that comfort wasn't the same as freedom. He picked his fork back up. The goal was never to earn more, he said. The goal is to reach the point where earning is a choice, not a requirement. Daniel went home that night and sat at his kitchen table for a long time. He looked at his apartment, the granite countertop, the car keys on the hook, the subscriptions auto-renewing in the background, and saw all of it differently for the first time. Not as success, as a very comfortable cage. He opened a new savings account that same night and named it one word: gap. If you're not following Tycoon logic, you're probably building a lifestyle right now and calling it a life. But if you are, you're learning that real freedom doesn't come from a bigger paycheck. It comes from needing one less.